Yo, what up? Welcome to Unmustard, the podcast. I am your host, Atenda Zimbabwe, aka TheUltraPoet, aka the boy with no boundaries. And this is the podcast where I get to host the contributors to the hip hop genre, the hip hop culture. We know it, we love it. And today I'm hosting somebody that I like. I bumped his music. Recently, I just caught wind of him. I don't know why he wasn't all that out there because it's actually quite good. His name is Reaper. Hey man, introduce yourself.
Yo, my name is Vipa, and I'm a hip hop artist based in Harare, Zimbabwe, and yeah, specialize in Afro hop. Afro hop is whereby you blend African elements. There might be stories or instrumentation, and then blend them with the sound of the hip hop culture. So yeah, that's me.
All right, you gave us a bit about yourself. You talked about Afro Hope. I came across that term before, but I'm not quite sure what it is about. So maybe you could tell us more about what you do and what Afro Hope is.
Yeah, you might have come across that from Six the Law's page or my page. Yeah, we usually use that term to describe the kind of sound that we're working on. So basically, Afro hop is a subgenre within the hip hop genre that focuses on blending African cultural elements. It may be through the storytelling on the songs or through the presentation of the songs or through even the sound, and then we blend them with hip hop cultural elements. It may be from an MCing point of view or from a DJing point of view or through graffiti, which nowadays we can refer that to the artwork that we use. So yeah, and I rap. I rap.
You spend all the time explaining what Afro Hope is and actually didn't say what you do, but then it's all right. So you're a rapper and you just recently dropped a single. We're not going to talk about that now. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Now let's talk about your journey. Who is Reaper in terms of your evolution? Where did you start? How did you start? What inspired you? What sparked that love for hip hop music that you have at this point? What's the one point that you remember, or that's so vivid that you remember to say like this is where it all started? What's that point in your life, and how has it been from that point to now?
Yo, bro, like I like this question. I started rapping in 2008, but I was already in the hip hop culture. So basically, Reaper began rapping in 2008, although he started formally recording in 2009. So yeah, I would say that one of the closest inspirations is my older bro. He's also a producer. He produces in many genres. Yeah, his name's Siggy Phantom, although most people may know him with different names and spaces. So yeah, what my older bro used to do was we'd watch Cartoon Network, me and my lighty. So he would just pull up for the holidays. Then he would just change channels, watching Channel Law and the likes. And that used to agitate me a lot. But then as I later began growing up in primary, I began vibing to hip hop as the area that I used to stay in. A lot of people used to vibe to a lot of hip hop, although we vibed to urban grooves. But hip hop was the staple. I mean, my neighbors next door literally were, Masala, these people would like to term that in Shwana. So they used to bump to the freshest hip hop cuts. So then, yeah, well, I grew up then liking the music. But then in 2008, I remember one of my homies got dissed, although it wasn't really like a battle per se. So I just wrote a couple lines, and one of my classmates just said, "Yo, bro, can you rap on this?" Then I can't say that it was by it was by skill, that was by luck. I said in pocket, and yeah, cats were like, yo, dude, you can actually rap. So I started continuing to write rhymes and then went into a battle rap. And this homie of mine, Dominic Jules, rest in peace to the homie, literally thrashed me 3 rounds. I couldn't even survive. So yeah, at that point in time, I told myself, nah, battle rap is not for me. So I continued writing, and my first track dropped in 2009 with the same homie who had dissed me the year before in a rap battle, and this other homie of mine named Boy T. Shout out to the OG. So yeah, from 2010, whilst I was still in high school, A level, I was just linking up with different individuals, you know, recording and performing at talent shows. And after high school, we went to varsity. I was by UZ, so what I would do was people would find me during lectures only. After lectures, I was in the booth. I remember releasing my first tape in 2013 in May, if I'm not mistaken, titled School of Trap, The Last Changamire. Before that, in 2012, I was recording a bunch of singles, then I just lumped them up into one EP titled Changamire DJ Valley Prologue to the School of Trap. Then 2014, I dropped another tape titled School of Trap 2, The Journey Continues. So yeah, in 2015, I was supposed to drop an EP titled Under the Dome, but something happened. The guy I was working with deleted my vocals, so we couldn't have the tracks remastered. So yeah, I went into a phase where I was just dropping singles until I linked up with Six the Law. We did a single called Thank You, and yeah, after that single we decided to explore further, and we worked on the EP titled Veritas, The Boy Who Seeks the Truth, whereby we dropped that in 2018. Yeah. And yeah, I forgot to mention that in 2013 I also did an EP titled The Good Die Young. Yeah, and that EP was done solely because I wanted to explore. I was searching for the sound. I was searching for like the type of sound that I could vibe with, and yeah. But generally, the journey has been quite. How would I describe it? The journey has been going up and down, but as always, I like the process more than the outputs. Yeah, I can celebrate that, I have this track that's out, but in all honesty, for me, the process, getting to record a song and then, waiting for that song to be mixed and mastered, at times even waiting for the instrumental to just come through. So yeah, man, wow, I've taken long to explain the journey, but yeah, I actually even filtered out a lot of details. But yeah, man, I hope I answered your question this time around.
No, like you shouldn't have filtered that. That's why you are here. We are here to listen to your story. You are here to tell your story, bro. We are here to listen. That's the most important thing. That's the reason why I started like this podcast. It's because I wanna hear the stories. I wanna know, because everybody out there is gonna be like, who is REAP3R? Now I know that you started that way back, because I haven't dig that deep into your discography that I would have guessed that you've been on this for like 10 years or more. I would have thought like maybe 4, because that's where my knowledge of your music gets back to, So you shared a lot about your journey from way back. I wouldn't have guessed, as I said before, that you would have started your music journey in 2009, though things started to shape up in the early 2010s to the mid 2010s. How has that journey been for you? Let's talk about the mishaps and the successes. Let's talk about all that. What are the highlights of that journey? Maybe the big moments and the low moments from when you started to now releasing The Rain with Dancehall Keddah.
Yo, yeah, I understand you very well, so I will not filter. All right, if I remember correctly, I would have to say my first set was on this variety show that was hosted by St. Dominic's in 2009. I remember a lot of people were quite skeptical about me hitting my set properly because I used to forget the lines that I was supposed to drop. But then I wouldn't then pause. I would freestyle to the part where I kept forgetting. So people were like, we hope you won't fumble on stage. My guy, I stuck to the script and I did what I had to do, and boom, we were done. And I think at that moment I then realized that, oh yeah, I can actually do this. Then another highlight would definitely be Miss UZ 2014. Trust me, I personally felt like, okay, um, I had a great rehearsal, but then the final performance was marred by the mic that I was now using, because we used different mics when we rehearsed and when we did our final performance. But then looking in hindsight of the performance, I then realized that I should have asked the range of the mic that I was using, because it was a cordless mic, but I hadn't confirmed that. So yeah, that was a dope highlight. Which other highlight was that? Man, I'm trying to think. Oh, wait. Yeah. I'd like to say 2019's Youth Power Praise. I was doing this song called Street Gospel, whereby I was wearing the garments, but this time around I was wearing the garments and the sandals, and I had this bag, this Mazbaba bag as well, which is white and stuff like that. Like, to be honest, I just remember preparing to go to do my set, but otherwise with the whole set I don't even remember like what was happening, or like the energy. I felt like I transcended. I had transcended to some other plane. But then yeah, I liked that set. I loved that set. Then in 2020, in 2020, Central Sundays, hosted by Third World Entertainment. I was going after Pro Beats, and Pro Beats had already set the stage blazing. So now I hit my first track. After I hit my first track, I really had fumbled because there was miscommunication between me and the DJ. So it was now crunch time on the second track. When I got on speed on the second track, and then when I performed one of the people's favorite joints, it was game over. Yeah, I also had 2015's appearance at YGT, hosted by Prometheus. Yeah, that one's a highlight as well. That one's a highlight. I loved that. Then now my memory is acting proper. There's this other DJ I met. I forgot his name, but then it was in 2014. He played one of the joints that I gave him on radio. It was around 11:45 p.m. I sat through the whole dude's show. He was like, "I'm gonna play your song on radio." I spent the whole 3 hours waiting for that song to be played, and when it got played, I think it was only me and two niggas were listening to the radio at that time. And yeah, it was good vibes. Yeah, I also had the 2012 YGT freestyle sessions hosted by Karma, aka Young Marley. Bro, we went 4 consecutive times. We went 4 consecutive times. I remember on the other episode we had to freestyle to impress one of like the lady presenters, and funny enough I won. Very funny enough. Yeah. What other highlight, man, besides the rain? Bro. It's quite a lot. Then mishaps. Yeah, there are a lot of mishaps, including like arriving in shows whereby the mic's not really set proper, or but one mishap that I really remembered well in my journey that really got my attention was when this producer dude I was working with on the EP that I told you I had shelved deleted my vocals. Like, man, I personally went into a moment of, I wouldn't say depression, but I was quite pissed because I had already prepared for the project and I had hyped it up and I had communicated with the peeps whom I was supposed to communicate with about the project. So it was already something that was prepared and already in motion. But then I was now realizing that, oh, okay, I may have to restart. And from that period whereby my vocals were deleted up until I released an EP in late 2018, I was just releasing singles, but I wasn't really, you know, mentally and emotionally prepared to work on a project. So yeah, that was one mishap. Ooh, I'm trying to think of other mishaps. For now I'm gonna mention this. If I have another one, most definitely I'll share it through. Yeah.
That's such a story, man. That's such a story. You seem to have a rich background. You have seen it all, if I might say. And now what's left is just to go up and up and up and up. And I don't know if this is the right words. These are the right words actually, to say that you haven't really hidden that point or gotten to that point, or blown up, if I'm to use that term for a lack of better words. And for this sake, I'm talking about numbers. How has that been for you? Certain rappers are putting out a mixtape and they blow up. They're putting out 2 3 singles and they're blowing up, but you've been on the grind. Your audience is growing organically, obviously, bit by bit. How do you feel about blowing up? Do you feel like it's something that you'd want? Do you feel like it's something that's coming? Or like, what's your idea of that? Can you take us through that?
A very interesting question and observation. Yeah, I mean, everyone wants, numbers, for numbers don't lie. Numbers actually elevate the grind, and even like some of my favorite rappers, they've got numbers that back them up. You know what I mean? But for me, I'm way more focused on the content of the work and the quality on the work and behind the work, because in all honesty, even some of my favorite rappers numbers, even though they may be less, but they're doing fine. It's only that in the space that we're in, numbers do work, so you'd need to have quite a lot of numbers. And for me, in all honesty, yeah, numbers are important. I believe their numbers are important, but there are ways within which we can get those numbers and not compromising on the content and not compromising on the quality. Because for me, it's more about quality control. Me and the guys that I work with, it's all about quality control. The quality of the content, the quality of the sound, even the quality of the presentation of the content, and the individual and the persona as well. So I'd like to blow up mainstream wise, but I'll just deal with the card that I've been given, and continue to churn out dope work. That's basically how I'll answer this. But man, yeah, numbers are important, bro, because with numbers you can get to certain sports, and you can get to link up with certain producers that you'd want to work with. So yeah, numbers can get you close to some of the people that you'd want to work with. But yeah, even if I don't really like blow up mainstream wise, I'm still content with the work done and with the numbers. and with the fans. I don't like calling people who listen to my music fans. I actually I prefer calling them a tribe or something like that. Yeah, but most definitely, yeah, who doesn't want to blow up? Everybody wants to blow up. But then they'll come up with statements like, my music is conscious, so it will not really blow up. My music is conscious, but I need the numbers too, you know. I would want to work with a guy like Verseless or the Monkey Nuts. But for me to get to that, to those guys, I need to have, a certain leverage so that, when they say, yo, Reaper, let's work, yes, they are respecting the work, but also you are also giving them something, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's important to have numbers, but also let's not forsake the quality of the content and the quality of the work and the quality of the marketing. So yeah, I hope I broke this science down properly.
All right, still on that point, what's your view on the people that are blowing up right now, or the music, the kind of sound that is blowing up right now, that's making 200,000, 500,000 streams right now? I don't want to mention any names, I don't want to step on any toes. What are your views on the people that are representing the semi pop genre or the semi pop sound at this point in time? What are your views on that?
You're avoiding controversy, I see. Yeah, let me just shake up the room a little bit. Yeah, a lot of people may talk crap about Tiguan's, but he's making the music, people love hearing. You know what I mean? Even though people may say, it's not the, hip hop that we used to. But bro, even your OGs were doing stuff that even we would actually say like, that's a bit crazy. You know what I mean? People have different tastes and people have different ways they consume music. So I would personally blame that on the consumer. Otherwise, yeah, if someone says Pios is not a dope rapper, like, bro, he's connecting with the people. That's what's important. He's speaking out his message. He's speaking his truth. Let me actually like take it to the stateside this time around. If someone says Migo saying, real hip hop, you know what I mean? It's just numbers. The content is not proper. Like I don't blame the guys doing what they're doing, getting out their guap, pushing their hustle. Yeah, I may disagree on the content, but they are voicing out something that the society has been voicing out. You know what I mean? So I'd rather put the blame on society. But yeah, man, shout out to all those dudes who are making, numbers. They're doing something for the hip hop culture. They're making hip hop culture the pop culture. So yeah, we need that. In as much as yes, REAP is focused on, educating the masses and doing stuff like that. We also need those people who, make that ratchet music or, that weed music. Yeah, the universe needs to have a balance. We are in a society whereby there is good and evil. So yeah, but what I'd be worried about more is the quality. The quality still has to be important. But yeah, those who have those who have a lot of views in Zim, even though people are saying, it's bubblegum. I remember I was reading this other post where some other people were saying Takura is not hip hop. Yeah, well, dude can rap, but not rapping at a scenic level, But still, he's doing hip hop. He's representing hip hop. So instead of us saying, man, Mandem is not doing hip hop, let's just celebrate his take on the culture, his understanding of the culture, because what's important is understanding the culture and applying the culture. So yeah, shout out to all those G's who are making a lot of views out there. And yeah, if anybody feels any type of way about this response, yo man, we ready for you, bro. The culture is not your mom's culture, it's the culture. Let people do what they got to do to get the grind, as long as they're not, you know, stepping their toes on another human's dignity. You know what I mean?
I don't think there is ever been any more articulate and very correct and very good and very, I don't know, I'm short of words on how I can explain this response. It's so good. Uh, it's so on point. It sounds like you have your manager right now telling you what to say. But hey, I don't know. I don't know. There's this talk about less and less people making it to the mainstream in Zimbabwe, and especially in the hip hop music scene. There escapes one or two per year. That's all we get. But then in dancehall and any other genre, there are people that are escaping to the mainstream. What can we do as a culture to promote more artists coming up to the foreground, coming up to the mainstream, more and more and more, so that we have more people that are benefiting from the industry? What do you think is the difference between like having having like two top guys who are like 10, 20 that are making money? In Zim we have like 4, 5, 6 only people that are making money on top of the hip hop food chain. What's with that? What can we change to maybe make the environment better?
Yeah, shout out to Six the Law, shout out to Don Man, shout out to Wise Counsel. Yeah, we have conversations on these, so I just take notes on how they articulate ideas, and then I just implement them as I share what's on my heart. But with regards to this, to be honest, like look at how SA hip hop blew up, how even Zim dancehall blew up. People were moving as a movement. Even the choir, it's the house scene in Jozi, in South Africa actually. Those peeps were sending music to the taxis, the commuter omnibuses. They were moving as a movement. One of the main issues, the bag is important. Securing the bag is important, but you secure the bag more if you move as a movement, as a culture. Because imagine, J Soldier drops a project, I retweet it. Another rapper, let's say for example Red I Am or Prophecy, Courtney Antipas, like almost every rapper in the Christian rap scene is actually talking about that project. Every hip hop individual is actually like checking out the project or even just retweeting it. You know what I mean? We can gain traction, because right now the traction is there, but the traction is just centered on a few individuals. Yeah, people would also like to blame the consumer. We will get at that one day, but for now we need to start moving as a movement. You know what I mean? If ASAP drops a project, it shouldn't be about blues or Harare or this young man sports. We now need to transcend. We move as a culture. Yeah, I've noticed, even though like KRS-One, is a conscious rapper, as people like to say it, but he has no issues with peeps who are doing the type of music that he usually doesn't do. I remember that at the time he would actually say he doesn't have issues with mainstream artists getting their bag. He just has issues with the content, but he doesn't have an issue with them getting the bag, because at the end of the day, everybody gotta eat, right? So yeah, people gotta move as a movement, bro. Like, let's say for example, if Cottage 47 is dropping something, even just a retweet, even though you don't like play the project, just respect the work that's been put in. You know what I mean? It won't harm anyone if you play 1 or 2 tracks, from another rapper's project. Because I've personally noticed that people are more concerned about, okay, I hope this move works out for me. But yeah, As the Bible says, it is more blessed to give than to receive. So I think we as rappers, we should give more to the culture. And trust me, the benefits will be large if we move as a movement. Just look at Zim Dancehall, just look at, the house scene in SA. So yeah, man, I can't emphasize anything else on this.
Ah, man, you are so articulate. I have nothing to add. I usually have things to add, but I don't. So I'm just gonna move on. Let's talk about "The Rain," the single. It's off of your upcoming album, or is it a mixtape? Is it? Let's talk about that. So take us into the journey of you making the single with Dancehall Keddah. It's a very good song, very very refreshing sound. You made me aware of the idea that it was a sample from the Zigzag band, but still at this point it's a very refreshing sound in the hip hop scene on the hip hop scene. So tell us the story behind you making the rain with the people that you worked with, and how it fits into the whole idea of your upcoming project, and how that project came to be and where it's coming.
All right, bro. The rain started with me getting an instrumental from Fusion. We were having a conversation. He had sent a couple instrumentals, and I think I had bumped to one or two. After we bumped to one or two, he then sent the rain. I remember asking him, bro, what did you chop? He just said Zigzag band. So I didn't really, dig deep to search for the joint that he chopped. But then, okay, I wrote to the rain in April, like during the initial lockdown one. So after the track was written, I just wrote the verses, then I left the space for the hook empty. So I was having an idea for the hook. So I just hummed what I needed the hook to have. So as I hummed, I just left it like that, and I sent the sample ideas to Six the Law. So Six was like, yo, bro, if this joint is done properly, we might have a banger on our hands. So yeah, I then laid the idea dormant. I was just listening to the verses, just rehearsing and fixing where I needed to fix. And then I actually recorded the track. If it's not late September, it's mid-October. Then before I went to record, I was actually having a conversation with Dancehall Keddah. We go way back. He's the OG. I will let him tell y'all how we've been, working as collaborators. So as I was about to record the track, I just hollered at the dude and I was like, yo, bro, I have a hook that I got, but I need what? Someone who can lace the hook in this type of lane. So I just gave him, the hummings that I was doing on the hook, and I wasn't even on key. So yeah, when he heard that, he was like, yo, bro, I think I got something for this. Then Keddah did what he did, and then I was like, yo, fam, we can actually do this. So yeah, as we spoke about it, I had to wait up until end of March for the vocals. So Dancehall Keddah actually helped me this other time. It's like, yo, bro, I just finished the track, sent the email to Six for mixing, and it's a wrap. So yeah, after he said that, Six apped the next day. He was like, yo, bro, you need to holler at a videographer and start working on a visual for this joint. I'm sending through this joint real soon. So yeah, I then knew that, okay, we have something in our hands. With regards to the rain linking up with the upcoming project, the Boom Baptist, it was placed in a position whereby after we describe the character of the setting, we're now describing the ethos, the values, the core beliefs, and the thoughts. Because basically the project is more or less like a character, ruminating through different situations and understandings of the communities around them. So yeah, and yeah, the project is coming. It's dropping in June. I don't know when, but it's dropping in June. But yeah, trust me, the project is fire. Been listening to the project. Oof. I actually wanted to keep it a bit longer in the votes, but then yeah, Monday I'm gonna work on other projects as well. And yes, most definitely it's an album, although y'all are getting it for free via Mediafire, the direct download. If you're those who like streaming, yeah, it's gonna be on Audio Mac on YouTube. But most definitely those are the platforms whereby you're gonna receive the project. So yeah, hey, I hope I answered you. I hope I answered every question. Yeah, but yes, the album is coming. The Boom Baptist is coming. The Boom Baptist is coming.
The Boom Baptist, that's the most awesome album title that I've heard in a while. My God, how did you think of that? So before we wrap this up, I ask the questions up. Let's talk about your influences. What are some of the influences that you had, maybe in movies, music, whatever, that just shaped who you are as an artist? Maybe you can take us into why are you called Reaper? Where did that come from? And who shaped your sound? Maybe the rappers that you looked up to as you were growing up. As we wrap up the podcast.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna start with the name Reaper. So yeah, initially when I started rapping, I used to call myself the Grim Reaper. But then after watching those truth behind hip hop things, I then just decided to cut off the Grim, because the Grim Reaper used to take souls and stuff like that. But then in the Bible, there are peeps who are named Reapers, right? They're the ones who come out and collect the harvest and prepare the stalks of what the sowers have sowed onto the ground. So basically, Reaper is just an individual who seeks to explain the dichotomy of the you reap what you sow. I will not call it theory. I think the you reap what you sow idea. Yeah, but then as I was growing up, my early influences included Eminem, Kanye West, Lil Wayne, who else? Yeah, bro, Gorillaz. Yeah, bro, yes, Gorillaz. Then so I finished high school. Yeah, I was now listening to a lot of Drake and Rick Ross. Then when I started my varsity, before I started varsity, I remember during like my A-level studies, I used to play lasers. Like every time I remember when I was studying, after studying I'll play lasers, then get back to studying. You know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to Lupe Fiasco's Lasers. That album, even though he hates it, but yeah, man, that was my introduction to Lupe Fiasco. So after high school, I looked for other Lupe Fiasco, music. So I started by listening to Lasers, then Food and Liquor 2, then Food and Liquor, then The Cool. I caught on to The Cool a bit late, but yeah, it is what it is. Then yeah, all these other albums, the Tetsu and Youth, Drug Light, Drug Wave, and even the recent house EP like Lupe's one of my favorite. He's actually my favorite MC. Another influence, aka Yebo, yes, Mr. Kenan Forbes, major influence as well. I'll add Kanye West, I'll add Skyzoo, other influences besides rap. I forgot Jakey Hill Perry. That woman can speak, my God. From Zim, I would say, yeah, I would have wanted to say Kingpin, but to be honest, I salute you. I liked Kingpin's technique, but I was more influenced by 10 Diamond, especially like Student of the Game 3. I zoned out on that project a lot. Yeah, what else? Man, like, there's a whole list of musical influences, movies. Ooh, yeah, movies is gonna be tough. I'll add The Matrix. I'll add Catch Me If You Can by Leonardo DiCaprio. I like the way I was confident in his lying. Um, which other movie? With movies. Oh yeah, I'm a fan of Dragon Ball. The Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, bro. Yes. So I'm a fan of that, most definitely. Um, what else? Yeah, Pokemon. Pokemon was an early influence, and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Ooh, okay. Books. There's I forgot this. Yeah, The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. It's a philosophical item. I like how the way he was presenting his ideas. Which book? Yo, my recent favorite book is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. That's a must read for everyone. Everyone gotta read that book. Yeah, another recent addition to my favorite books was Jackie O. Perry's Good God, Gay Girl, whereby she was explaining of how she, she went from being straight to being a lesbian and then coming back straight as well. So yeah, I really liked how she narrated her story. What else, man? There's a lot. There's a lot of inspiration. I soak from a lot of inspiration, man.
Yo, man, I understand. First time when I heard Reaper, I obviously thought of the Grim Reaper. Then the way you explained it, yeah, made so much sense. And you mentioned so many influences that I couldn't like catch them all, but I mostly caught the Matrix, Jackie Hill Perry, and a lot of other stuff like the Eminems and the Drakes and all that stuff. I can definitely see you being influenced by a lot of stuff, because at the end of the day, it makes you into a whole unique person. So let's boil it down to a list of 10 things that are specific. So I'm gonna ask you, this is the game that I play with most of my guests. I'm gonna ask you, number 1, what's your favorite movie? 2, TV show. 3, visual artist. Number 4, color. Number 5, meal, country, car brand, rapper, album, and producer. No explanations here, just mentioning that and seeing where it goes after that.
All right. My favorite movie, tough one. Matrix Reloaded. TV show. This one is very tricky. Favorite TV show, man. I'm just gonna do the unthinkable over here. Dragon Ball Z. Visual artist. Oh, word. Videographer. I really don't take names, but yeah, this dude who's doing Drake videos is doing the most right now. He's doing the most right now. It's Theo Scudra, yeah. He's doing the most right now. Color. Tricky as well. Very tricky. I'll go with red. Favorite meal, most definitely rice and chicken. Chicken is bae, bro. Chicken is bae. Favorite country. Very tricky. Favorite country. Yeah. I'll have to add the USA, because that is where this culture of ours originates from. Then car brand, BMW, no doubt about that. A rapper, most definitely Lupe Fiasco. Album, Graduation by Kanye West. Producer J Dilla.
Okay, that was quick, man. That was quick. You seem to be decided, especially Kuma favorite rapper, favorite album, favorite producer. That's where most people, like most rappers or most hip hop heads, would stumble around. Bro, we've come to the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for being here, and I would like for you to thank the people that have been listening, our listeners, your fans, and as I thank you so much for coming through. I know it hasn't been easy. A lot was hindering this podcast or episode to be done, but we pulled through, man. Thank you so much. What would be your last words, especially for someone who is in your shoes, who is in the place that you are, or in the place that you have been before as an artist? What do you want to say to them and to the fan that has listened to this podcast from the start to this point? What would you say to them as your last words, as a goodbye on the podcast?
Oh, word, man, word. It was a trip. Yeah, I understand, bro. Like, yeah, everything will happen in due time. Everything will happen in due time. Just want to thank all y'all who've been listening to this from, the get-go, and those who came around to this point in time. And yeah, disclaimer, I actually have a list of favorite albums, so I just picked the one that was closest to my mind. But yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, to the person that's listening who's in my shoes, or someone from the tribe, just do the thing, fam. Just do the thing. Just do the thing. But yeah, when you do the thing, you need to calculate, is this thing, moving towards my purpose or moving towards my God-given purpose and direction? Because at the end of the day, man was designed to live according to purpose. So yeah, just do the thing, word. And yeah, thank you very much for having me on your podcast. Peace, love, and blessings. And yeah, eat your chicken every day, bro. Yeah, bro. My name is REAP3R again, and yeah, shout out to the TheUltraPoet for this dope podcast. People of the culture, pull through, support your G. Thank you.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that has been REAP3R, man. As he has said, our dude, great dude. If he blows up, just know your face. Head him here, man. He's got a new single out called The Rain, featuring Dancehall Keddah. Go check it out. It's song right there. We've come to the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Until next time, follow us on social media at TheUltraPoet on Facebook, on Instagram, go rate us on Apple Podcasts, and subscribe wherever you listen to the podcast. Thank you so much. Until next time.